Hi everyone, welcome back to the iRender tutorial series. Organic, bio-inspired surface growth has always been fascinating to 3D artists. Creators like Redila Media and 3D Bonfire have explored this idea beautifully using Vertex maps and the balloon engine in Cinema 4D. In today's tutorial, we'll take a different approach that simulates organic surface growth driven by weight maps using scene nodes in Cinema 4D. This method gives you precise control over the growth behavior and lets you create dynamic, natural-looking motion directly inside C4D. Let's dive in. We'll start with a male bust model. You can easily find and download it from Cinema 4D's asset library. Next, create a vertex map for the model. In this case, we'll use the curvature of the mesh to generate the base map. You can also combine it with a random field set to overlay mode to add variation and directional control to the growth. Adjust the parameters until you achieve the desired look and distribution. Now, let's move on to the node mesh. Inside the scene node space, import the model you created earlier using an object link node. This will serve as the base mesh for all the upcoming effects. Next, we'll build the weight map directly inside the scene node system. Start by using the Calculate Curvature node to analyze the mesh curvature. Then, combine this curvature data with the base vertex map we created earlier. By blending these two maps using a few utility nodes, you'll generate a new vertex map growth. Next, let's create the subdivision process. We'll use the loop carried value node to perform subdivision. And don't forget to use a range node to control the iteration scope. Inside the loop carried value node, use the select by weight node and apply the vertex map growth we created earlier. Combine it with the growth selection node and other supporting nodes to accurately select which polygons will be subdivided. Create the necessary parameters to fine-tune the subdivision control. Once everything is set, press play to preview the result. You'll see that the surface subdivision is dynamically driven by the weight map and your control parameters. Finally, add a smooth point node to soften the surface and achieve a more natural, organic look as it grows. Now, let's move on to the growth simulation part. We'll start by using a memory node to simulate the organic growth process. Inside the memory node, use the select by weight node once again. followed by a point modifier node. Don't forget to apply the Vertex map growth we created earlier to the point modifier node. Inside the point modifier node, use the necessary nodes to displace points along their normals using a noise field. Be sure to multiply the weight value with the normal vector to control how strongly each point moves, and create parameters to fine-tune the intensity and scale. Press play to preview the result. You'll see the surface begin to form organic, bubble-like growths. To make them look more natural, add a relax point node and tweak the parameters until you get a pleasing, smooth shape. Finally, use a smooth point node to refine the surface even more, giving it that soft, realistic biostructural look. To refine the result even further, add a Subdivide node and a Smooth Geometry node. These will help smooth out the surface and enhance the organic details. Adjust the parameters until you're satisfied with the overall look. Once everything looks good, bake the animation as an Alembic file to optimize performance and make it easier to render smoothly in your final scene. And that's it for today's tutorial. We've just created an organic surface growth effect driven by weights using scene nodes in Cinema 4D. We hope you found this tutorial helpful and inspiring for your own experiments. And if your current setup is holding you back, remember, iRender Render Farm provides powerful workstations from single to 8 RTX 4090, so you can pick exactly what matches your project needs and budget. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tutorials coming your way. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy rendering, happy creating with iRender.